Hello, how can I build a fast, consistent system for designing thumbnails for YouTube and other platforms? So in this video, we are going to address a few uh, subtopic. We are going to, show how you can design thumbnails for different platforms, and then we are going to talk about few other subtopic as well. So, and let's see how we are going to do this. So first, you want to create a template. So let's start it with a template. So you want to create a template so that you can quickly work when you are using your you are creating your thumbnail. So you want to create your thumbnails to be the size that those platforms thumbnail should be in. And I have the different specification here, but I heard that YouTube is going to go with 1920 by 1080 pixel, and that turns out to be the same one that Spotify is using. So what I'm thinking going forward is to create one thumbnails, and that way it's going to work for both of them. And during the week, yesterday I published videos using that 1920 thumbnails for YouTube, and it works just fine. So therefore I think it's just going to be okay. So if I go here and I just put youtube.com, and I will just put Liberman Consulting L.L.C. Okay, and this is that size, the thumbnail size that I use for Spotify instead of the regular one that I use for YouTube. So that means I just need to create one thumbnails for both platforms moving forward instead of creating two. So I'm saving time right there. And I think the reason why this big one is okay is for TV view. And so that is one thing that I found out that is a great news. So this can be out of here, and then we can just have Spotify and YouTube one template for it. As for the blog, I tend to use a smaller size. That way I won't slow down my websites. But those thumbnails, I tend to me it feels like they're a little bit blurred, but that's something to keep in mind. As for Pinterest, I tend to use 1000 by 1500. So knowing those, you will create your templates. And here, let me just, I was working on this for yesterday, and past midnight, and I was just tired. I fell asleep, and that's a good thing because we are going to talk about thumbnails. We might just take a look. So now let's zoom a little bit. It's just to tell you what we are trying to do here. But I think just by trying, you will think naturally. You will think about how to improve your process. So originally we have the Pinterest size, we have the Spotify and the YouTube. So I remove the YouTube one and just save those. But then I have the cover page for Spotify, which is 3000 by 3000 here, and I have this one for the blog, 600 by 450 at 300 dpi, and I just have those word there that I will put at the top for different topic category, but I just save those in my template as well for reference purposes. But other than that is so that I know when I'm creating a topic, the first thing that will be at the top, I have, you know, my notes there that I don't have to think about it, is already there. So now having 2 templates instead of 3 or 4, in fact we have the blog one, but I'm not going to create a thumbnail for it. So or I might just have few thumbnails that I will reuse for it. So therefore I'm now worried about the blog one. So we have the size for Pinterest, and then we have one that is going to work for Spotify and YouTube, 1920 by 1080 at 200 dpi. So those are rectangles, and I'm using Inkscape. You might use Canva if you have a paid version, but I'm using Inkscape, which is a vector design software. And then you just create your rectangle to be the size of the thumbnails that you are going to create. So having that, I tend to use layers as well, and I can just see if we can but once you create your rectangles, you can just save them. And because I'm using vector, I save mine as SVG. That way when I'm going to create thumbnails, I'll bring it back here, and that's what I did. And then I duplicate it here to do what I'm going to do. So when you have your thumbnails created, in this example here, I have my logo in it, although let's just skip it like that for now. In fact, that would be the time for me to work on that, because it does not have the font that I use to write it. And then we have our website, the blog, in this one, and we have our logo there as well. So we could have put Liberman Consulting LLC there as well, and we just put Nina Soap to leave it there for now. But now when you have your thumbnails, your rectangle, I tend to save my thumbnails with that rectangle. So therefore it's good you work on your colors. So now we are going to go to colors. So now that you know and let me show you, I think this, yeah, it will be pretty much the format that I tend to save them. So yesterday I made few duplicates here so that I have them, but I tend to save SVG, which I use in Inkscape, but I tend to save EPS as well, just in case I want to use Affinity Design. I can use that. And Affinity Design, I think it's free now, but I purchased it. It's something that you will purchase, you'll make one-time purchase, you'll pay one time for it, and I have it, but now it's it's owned by Canva, and I think it's free. So but it is, it has multiple type of software in a publisher, vector, and all those. But so I'm saving my template in a way that I can use it either here or I can use it in Inkscape, and Inkscape is free. So now let's go back to it. So now the colors, because I'm going to be saving the frame, I gave it a color, and you don't want to keep doing that every single time. Therefore I took the time, and yes, that's something that is going to take some time. I took the time to gather my color for my business. So we are going to go to our free fonts here, and we are going to talk about colors. So let's see. Yeah, we are going to work on color combinations. And there is a website that I like to use, and we are just going to excuse me, go to this website, and we are going to paste that. to have it. And when you are here, it's good to have a color in mind that you want to use, and it'll be great if you know the color as second. So let's say for instance you like, we can go to Google and let's just say, I don't know, you can say blue, or some people might go to Pinterest and find a color there that they like and use eyedropper to get the code for it. That's one way to do it. But if you, let's just say blue blue sky, X code, for instance. So you get some here. Let's just assume you like blue sky, and we can see images here for those blue sky. And if blue sky is too light for us, is it ocean blue? Okay, so ocean blue, if we like it, we have some colors here for it, and for ocean blue, so let's pick that. If I can copy, and now we'll go back here and we will just paste it there and click OK. So by doing that, it's going to give us the spectrum here, and it's just showing us different shades of it. And it's going to start with monochromatic. So monochromatic color is just like same color, different shades of it, and you can click there to see, okay, what will be the complementary color of it, and then you'll have that, and you can say, okay, so, and it's showing you the hue as well, and you can say, okay, what about the adjacent color, and adding the complementary. So pretty much it's showing the adjacent color. This is your color, the ocean color. It's showing you the adjacent color and the complementary color to that one, to your main color, and it's showing you that here. So, and then you'll go and say, okay, what about my triad? The triad will be the color you pick and the opposite two of them. So those will be like the complementary color to those adjacent colors. So it's showing you those, and then you can, so okay, what about my complementary color is right there, and and if you are seeing those well, those two will give you the full spectrum. Take a look at it again. This one is giving you the complementary, but those two are the complementary of the triad. So if I go back to the triad, you see those here, the complementary are the one that you are seeing in the adjacent. So you will copy the code for those two and you'll have the full spectrum, of course, with the complementary. And now we can see the tetrad here. The tetrad is showing you, you know, one of the adjacent here and it's complementary, and this complementary here as well, and so forth. So now what I like to do is pretty much the triad and the adjacent, and I think the adjacent might even give you that triad. You just need to click on the complementary here, and then I will scroll down and check table export, and I will come back down here, and I know that this is my color that I started with, and it's giving me the complementary color to it at the bottom here, and then it's going to give me my the monochromatic. So pretty much this is like the monochromatic, but at the same time you'll have your, I think we click on triad, right, or adjacent, adjacent. So we have you know, those sides as well, and they're complementary. No, we have this one and this one, they will be on the opposite side of it. Those two will be on the opposite side of it of this one, and they have their, hold on, I'm confusing myself here, but let's close this again and go and take a look at it. So there are those two here. So let's go back again. So there are those two, and then you have monochromatic for each one. So, and then you can copy pretty much, if you can export it, that would be great, but I just take the time to copy those X code, and then you can come back and do the triad. This is the adjacent. So this one was the triad, this is the adjacent, and I'm going to click on that complementary. So pretty much this is the adjacent of our color, and it's complementary. So let's go back again. So we have our color, and we have the two that were adjacent to it, and we have our our opposite color here. And the way I like to view it is, but yeah, so pretty much once you record those, if we go back to the triad, the two that we are going to see here will be the complementary for those two. Does that make sense? Like this, if just take a look at it, those two colors, when we come back, let's close this if we can close it, and then we go to triad. That is their complementary colors here. So now you will take some time. Yes, it takes time, and then you will copy those colors to your spreadsheet. And I have mine here. For instance, I like this green. That is the complementary color of it. So those are the adjacent color, and then I have their complementary colors there, and this should be the triad. Yeah, I have the triad, and then I have the adjacent. So having those two give me my combination color for the business. So we are going to use this one as an example, and we'll go back to our color, and we'll put it here. We can take that things out of there, and it's giving us our colors here, and you can see it. Let's go to, we have this, we have that, and we have that one. I don't know if you can see those numbers, but pretty much what I like to do is just use my spreadsheet, and yes, it's tedious work, and I will copy all those colors to my things. And I have, let's see if I will find the other two. They are here. You see those? They are there. And then I have the monochromatic colors there. And then I'll just go back and I'll do the triad. And then I will bring my spreadsheet back again. And that will be the complementary color for those two. And I will have a here, and that will be that number, and this one will be this one. Although it's now, I'm not, in showing me the same. Oh, I think, okay, it's showing me those two are the triad. This one and this one opposite left and left, right and right, opposite right. Anyway, I have a weird way of reducing mine, but yeah, so just see the way you will do it. So I say opposite left, that will opposite left, opposite, so is the complementary color for the other one, and it doesn't seem to be the uh, complementary color for it, but you get the point. So oh, I'm in the tetrad here, no sorry, triad and adjacent. That is what I like to use. So okay, so let's bring it back here again. So we have this here, we have our color, we have this one, and we have that one. They are on each side of our color, on the same side of the spectrum, and that will be the adjacent. And now we will want to do the triad, and the triad will show, because it is our color here, it will show us this one here. So we'll go back, and then we'll bring our spreadsheet. You just have to find which one makes sense for you when you are recording it on your spreadsheet, so that it can make sense. So I have the opposite colors pretty much here as well, and then I have the monochromatic colors from the light to the dark. So that is how I will, I like to do my color. But you have Adobe that has a website as well for you to get your colors, but I just like to use these websites, and I like it better. It's just some consuming to have your combination, and I have 3 here that I try to go to use. Have that one, and this one is the main one, and then I have the gold. Because I talk about money, I try to use green and gold. So I have that, but I have a brighter version of the green, which is this one that I tend to use, and I like it as well. But it's all about the color that you like. You can try to find the color combination, so that you can use colors that complement each other when you are doing your design. You see, I kind of like this playful, cheerful color as well. But depending on thumbnail design, some color might be just too light to work, and sometimes when your background is too dark, then I tend to default to this one, and that's what I was doing yesterday. I think I brought it up to use it somewhere. So because I was using some thumbnails that the background was just too dark, I started with my main color, this color green, which is that 008,000. But then there were some pictures, I think I deleted some already, but there are some pictures that the background was just too dark. I'm defaulting to, the background is dark, I'll default to the brighter, cheerful one, or I will use the gold. I think that will be a way to do it as well. So, I mean, I have more colors here, but I'm okay with it. But just take your time to have your color combination. That way, you know that you can use it on your website, which I do, and you can use it on, to create your thumbnails, which I use as well. And if we go to Liberman download here, when I start updating my digital download website last week, I use my colors here, and those came from my gold color combination session, but I think I use my green as well, which is my 008,000 color combination. But I'm combining both to pretty much design it. So that is to the extent you are going to be using your color. Take your time to choose it, because you can use it on your website and you can use it on your thumbnail as well, and have a good amount that if you have a dark background that you need to use a brighter color beside white, you have the monochromatic lighter shade to work on. And if you have a light background and you need a dark color, you can use the dark shade in the monochromatic side to work with as well. it took me time to create it, and I did multiple iterations, and then decided to keep those for my business. But I have it here. So now we took some time to talk about colors, and it is important that way once you have it, you create a test in the template, the rectangle you created, and you use the color that you are going to use. You color that text in it like that before you save your templates. That way you have your color saved already, and you can even use, like in this instance, while I'm saving my thumbnails with the frame, I'm already using my color there as well, and I have my color underneath my logo as well, if I can call that a logo. But okay, so now we talk about color combinations. Now we are going to talk about font. You can buy font if you want. I like to just go to Google and get a free one there. So to do that, you'll go to Google and you just put Google free font for commercial use. I have not done this in a while, so just keep that in mind. And then when you do that, you will click on it, and here you have it. But what you are looking for is display font. Those are font like for billboard, that when people are driving through, they can see real fast. You want those fonts that are strong, bold, that you can use in your thumbnails. And I'm using one here. If I click on this and I go to this, it'll show me that I'm using Shriekened, and there is a right tools as well that I have. And what I will suggest is, again, use your spreadsheets and write them down. So I tend to, again, something that I did a few years ago, but have your serif, your script, your display, and those things. Even better, what I like to do is, once you have them laid down, you can, once you turn off your computer, you activate the font in your computer, and you turn off your computer and turn it back on. If you have to do that, you'll be able to see the font. So you can just have, a test and find that font. Oh, okay, I think it's still there, and just use that font for each one of that tests. Does that make sense? That way, if you are wondering if this font you want to use it or not, you can just come to your spreadsheet and see how that font looks like. I kind of like that, but it took time to try to do that, having those tests in each one of those fonts that you have listed to have the example. But I think it's a very quick way to see how the font look. You're just trying to have a test with different type of letters to see how those letters will be formulated, whether it's capital, lowercase, and things like that, and numbers and points and all those. That way you can see each one of those, just by quickly scrolling to see what captivated you, if you want to use it or not. So I'm not sure if I'm seeing Shrieken. Okay, that's Shrieken. So that is what I'm using. What was in the box was right tools. But you can see, yesterday I said, you know what, I'm going to use Shrieken more. So I'd save that. Again, that's why I have another version of the templates, and that is how you are going to, do your font. So when you come back to Google here, let's see, because I have not done it in a while. Sometimes it will give you certain things here, like the type. You see calligraphy, serif, and when you don't know what to do in the evening, your brain is fried and you don't really want to think. I think that's when you wanted to do those work that do not require you to think much, to use another side of your brain. And you can just do those, repeatable things, eating some popcorn, watching TV, or with kids around you jumping all over you, that you can do that. So you can just look around. I'm not sure what appearance is But if you know what that means, but you can just look to see which one is going to be what you are looking for. And I think it can give you, you know, the pixel as well. So, but we can just stay with the appearance of now. But anyway, you get the point. You just want something that is bold, and if you, they will be able to give you that. You can come in the serif session. They say all, maybe this will be it. That will show something that is bold, but it's serif though. If you do not want those angles, you can come to the sans serif here. I'm not seeing bold there as much as it is here. Oh, slab. Okay. It's kind of light. And this. So when you see it like this, let's see if it's going to be giving you, yeah, it's giving you multiples. You see, it's giving you multiples. We have diplomata here. I have that one as well. So now, because it's giving you multiple, you scroll down. So let's say we like alpha slab 1 or diplomata, or you know, you just scroll down and you are going to be looking for something that is display, that is heavy. And we have Goblin 1. If that's something that is in your free version already on your computer, doesn't have to, but let's say we like this font, we click on it and we say we like it, it's bold, then it has all, it's showing you those, and the font is regular 400. I have regular 400 is that heavy, that's good. You just click on get font and then you download. Okay, so it downloaded for you. What I like to do is, again, it takes time, but the good news is you do that once every a while. So again, I did mine some years ago. Let's go here and organize it. So let's go under manual and free font, create your folder and have them. So it's good you do it one by one. So under that serif, is it serif? Yeah, serif. The ones that you selected, you downloaded, you can just come here and let's go to download, and we have this. We can just cut it and go back and paste it here, and it will take you time, but you will organize your font. So now that you organize your font, you want to be able to access it. So you will click on it and you will click on this one and you will click on install, and it will install it for you. So now that it installed it, let's go back to our spreadsheet here. Under serif, I don't know if we have Goblin or not, but let's go back, and it's not what I will copy. Oh, come on. I will copy that and I can just paste it here. So we can copy this text and we can paste it here, and let's see if we'll find that Goblin somewhere here. So I can just type Goblin, and I think we might have to turn our computer off and on before, or like restart it type of things before we might see it. I'm not entirely sure. Is it there? Oh, okay. Is it? I'm not sure though. Let's see. G-O. I'm not seeing it in, but I will assume once you install it, it should be able to show up here for you once you restart the computer. Otherwise, you can AI it and ask AI how to, you know, activate font. Yeah, I think there is another process that I need to do, and I did it before. So that means next time that I do it, I will need to have, oh, okay. You see, I say I will need to have a template for how I should do it. But it seems to me that I already did it. So let's see if there is a step that, okay, click install, click OK. You see, I'm not even writing well, but I'm okay with it. Open the Word Excel document. And I think that's all. That's all we need to do. I don't think there is any other things that we need to do before it can show up. So that means we might just have to restart our computer to be able to see it. But again, if it's not working, you can just ask AI how to activate a font we installed. And it will tell you that restart the application. Okay, control appearance. Let's see here. I know that there is a place you'll find a list of the font as well. So appearance, personalization, and font. And I think I have done that sometimes in the past. So let's go to appearance or setting. Appearance. If I can see it somewhere. I thought it would be in the setting. If I can write appearance. But you get the point. So you will do that. I'm not going to. No, it's not what we are looking for. But I thought it would be in the setting. And appearance should be somewhere there. But we are not going to spend too much time in it. In the control panel, appearance and personalization. So it's not in the setting. We can put font in the control panel. You see, that's one way to just go straight to the point. Oh, is under what? Home. Anyway, under personalization. But again, you just put font, it'll take you straight to it. So you can see the font that Microsoft already has. The thing is though, they have those small pointings that not to use certain things for commercial use and all those. I'm not sure. So therefore, I just prefer to use free Google font. Approved for commercial use. But I think when you come here, what am I doing here again? Check to see if your font appear here. Okay, so we are looking for Goblin. Or not, but you know, yeah, you can just go through it to see if the font that. But technically, once you restart your computer, you should be able to see it here. So otherwise, you will just come here and trying to see what you have. And I will assume it should be able to allow me to browse and install fonts. Drag and drop to install. So you see, it's giving you ways you can do it as well. It's giving me a way here to search a font. and let's see, and I'm not seeing it, so not found. So it's taking me back there, and I can just go to where my phone is. Maybe that's the way I have to do it. Every computer is different, so this is a new computer that I've been using this month. And for some reason I'm not seeing my font. Where did we put it? I thought we put it under serif font, but clearly it's not showing me anything here. So if we go to, so they say drag and drop the font file. So the font file, I don't know if I had to be inside of it. It's not doing anything. So I don't think that's that one. I think that's this one. It's not doing anything. Let's take this one, and there it's not doing anything. So I'm not really sure what is that you need to bring here that is not doing. So but maybe font that you purchase will be another format. Oh, now it's working. Choose the font. Maybe it worked. I'm not entirely sure. So that means we'll go back to our font. Okay, to access, click on the link. But anyway, so font in file, Windows, font in file explorer. Click on the link or navigate to font control panel is being redirected here to access the legacy. Okay, so don't really need to access that. And we want to see our font again under personalizations and fonts. We can see if the one that we brought, Goblin, okay, is here. But anyway, we tumble our way through to come here. So now that, again, we are talking about system here. Now that we tumble our way through to come here, what I like to do is first we can say thank you here, and then we can copy, hold on, we can copy the process here and add it to our notes that we have here for some years now, that we have the complete knowledge here. And another thing that I like to do is we can go back to where we were trying to figure it out, and I can just use a screenshot. And I can just do this. Yeah. And add it as well. That way next time that we, we don't know how to do it because it's not something we do every day, we have our notes. Even better, that note is where we are saving our font. Is in the free font folder, how to, we have it there. So now we can come back here to see if we have, I can just duplicate my template here. I select everything and I'm going to duplicate and put it here. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to go to my test, and I'm going to go here to see if I can find Go Blend. In here, it's not here, so that means I will have to restart my computer before I can find it here, unless I have now activated here. Okay, it is there, so it's asking me to uninstall it, and now we want that to be there. So that means I just have to, you know, once I restart my computer, I should be able to find those. So take your time, add your phone to your system and have them, and once you are ready to design your thumbnails, you'll be able to find them and use them. So now we stumble our way through our phones, and that is something that, excuse me, you just have to cut some time out of your day at night when you are tired, you are bored of doing the same thing for a while, to just switch activities and do something to, you know, to distress a little bit by working on this, or just make it time to do it, because again, everything takes time, but once you do it, you see, 2020, and it's here. So, and that's that. So now that we work on our color combination, we work on our font, and we talk about the templates, you have those. So now you can go to, you know, your thumbnails and start designing it. So, and design so we have the frame, so you have your font, and you can just use your font and put your text on the templates and save it. That way you have the frame that you can work with. Now that we spent quite a bit of time talking about the frame. Yesterday we talked about images, our pictures. So we have our pictures, and pretty much what I'm trying to do here is create thumbnails. So to create thumbnails, we want some text to be in it. So it'll be good to go through your 1 year list, and the example is this one, and we have multiple iterations. So far I have at least 3 here for the same topic, 1 year, and I have slight variation of them. But for this one, we even have this one that at least I asked AI to continue the numbering for me, and this should be all the way to 510. It's well more than 1 year content there, but then I revise it again. You know, it's not that once you do, you are not going to change it. As you continue, you are going to continue improving whatever you are working on. So we have our 1 year topic. We are having different varieties as well, to see if you can keep improving the content that we want to talk about. And again, they are the titles of our videos, so we want to have thumbnails for it, and it's simple. You can ask AI 1 or 2 word thumbnails to come up with those for you, and it did it, and I just copy it and add it to my 1 year content, and I have it here. So now that I'm ready to create thumbnails, I'm just going to be using those words. So 1 or 2 word, what is the things that I'm trying to go with. I prefer to create thumbnails that are generic, that I can use multiple times, but I say, okay, can we do a little bit better and be a little bit more tailored to the topic? And we come and we have this again. AI can help you select the questions and say, can you give me 1 or 2 word thumbnails? In my case, without swing trading, because I know it's going to be on the thumbnails no matter what. And I came across, I have that list, and I paste it here, and now we are going to create the thumbnail. So having those pieces ready will allow you, once you start, you can start. It is time consuming to begin it with, but yeah. And I have my chart that I design, and I save it here, and I use that as well, because I'm trying to see if I wanted to add a little bit related to the stock in it. I originally didn't want to, but I decided to do that. But we are going to go and take a look at our pictures that yesterday we talked about, that you can create your own pictures. So we have our pictures. that we record ourselves, use video software to carry into still images, and I pulled them here. But that took me quite a bit of time because I have 1 year, no, 1 month, like 30 or 35 pictures in here. But the way I save them with dates, I try to, even inside of it, I have some sub. I try to click open it to see if I like the picture or not. So I was going through a lot of pictures, a lot of folders to see if I like the picture or not, and which one that I like. So as I'm going through it, if I like one, I will see the number, and then I will try to memorize a few, and then I will select those and bring it to the document, the software that I'm working in, and then I will go to the next folder and so forth. So what I'm thinking, after I did that, it took me, let's just say it took me more than an hour to find those 30 or 35 pictures that I pulled there. The goal was to have different pictures like that, but it was just time consuming. And as I was thinking about it, how I don't have to spend 2 hours next time to do the same thing again when I'm going to create another 1 month of thumbnails, I say to myself that maybe one way I can do that will be to create maybe another folder here and just call it I don't know, best pictures selected. So can just be best pictures, and I will have two folders, like 2 explorer folders open, and I can just put this one here. So one, I'll be going through the pictures. So here I can just say 38, for instance. So here is where I'm going to be putting them. And what I'm going to do is, I have my pictures here, and I can just go through them. If I wanted to start from, from this ILO, I'll go through it. I have sub in it. I can just go through it to see if there is one that I like here. Let's just say I go through it. I'm not going to improve the quality of the picture. I'm just going to see the one that I took, if it met the requirement that I'm looking for. So I can just say that, okay, I'm okay with the last 2, for instance. I'm not going to remove them out of here because I have a date that allow me to know the history of those pictures. I can just have it here, and like that. For now, I was originally thinking about adding the dates where they came from, and I don't know if I want to spend time doing that. So I'm just going to keep it like that for now, and come back here, see what is here. If I like it, if I don't, I'll just go back, and I will just keep doing that. So the idea behind it is, when I have my first 30 here, I'll come back and just number them, making sure I'm using different picture following. Does that make sense? So I have 2 pictures here, but I'm not going to say 1, 2, but I will say 1, and then I will say 2 for a different picture, and 3 for a different one, and so forth, all 30. That way I'll have different, I will pretty much mix them here, and I'll have 30 pictures here. So if I want 30 pictures in my design software here, I will just bring them here. So what I'm going to think of doing is, if let's say we take this one, for instance, if there is a pictures here that I like, chances are I will want me to be on this side, and this one is 13. I will just do those, and let's say we like 13, we can just copy it and we'll add it here. So, and let's say, so we'll have 1, this is a different outfit, we'll have 2, and and so forth, and this will be 3. So when we come back to, let's say we have 30 pictures or 3, and let's say we come back to our document here, I want to be on a lower layer. So I'm putting my picture underneath the frame. So I'm going to use layer 5 for it. So making sure I'm there, and I'm going to bring those 3 pictures. So where are they? I'm just going to select them, and I'm going to bring them here. So what it does is it's going to put them all around somewhere here for me. So I'm just going to, using my control, I'm going to drag it somewhere here, and I'm going to select them. I'm going to do Control A, and I know there are functions here that works when I'm not sure. Once I figure out, it's good to screenshot it or have it in a notebook, or better yet, inside this folder have a Word document called How To, and you can just screenshot what you are doing to put there, so that way next time you are going to do it again, you don't have to stumble your way through it, but you have your process already manually written down that you can work with. And in this instance, it's just going to be okay. So if I bring it back here, scatter like this, I will come back to my alignment section here, and I wanted to pretty much put them together. So let's see if I use this one. That one is not doing anything. This one is not doing anything. You see, I'm just trying to walk through them, and let's use this one. You see, I'm like pretty much trying to figure out, hold on, let's make sure there is nothing underneath it. Okay, so but I wanted to make sure all of them are aligned. Oh, hold on. And this is the software that I'm using. So you see, this one aligned them for me, selected area, and this one align it for me. So what I like to do is, your process will be different from mine, but what I like to do is, I have that result, and I know that I use this, and I have this is what was selected there. I will screenshot it. The way you will do yours will be different from mine, because you might be using a different a different software, but what I'm using, I will draw attention to how it was done. I don't want to use too much word. Then I will be using a screenshot, and I'll just paste those. So it is one step, it aligned it for me. Now I want it all together. So that is, if I want to just align, I will have it like that. That way I can just drag it and use it. But what I'm looking for is, I want them together. So my next things that I'm going to try to figure out is, no, okay, so that will be this one. So therefore, I'm going to go back again. I'm going to screenshot this, and I think it's this one. If I'm wrong, well, I'll just stumble my way through it again next time. But that's that. And make sure you save your work. And the reason why I'm doing that is, when I have it like this, and I bring my let's go down a little bit. Let's bring a thumbnail as let's bring this thumbnail that we duplicated earlier. I can just bring it here. Now we can come close. So I have this thumbnail template here, and I have my pictures here. The reason why I wanted to have it like this is once I figure out the size that will fit here, I will size all of it at once. So that is the idea that I was thinking. That way I know that next time that process could speed up. I could speed up the process doing those. So I have this here, and let's just imagine that we are going to, when we come back here, we are going to do minimum deposits. So I'm going to copy, I don't know if I need to copy it. It's just minimum deposits. It's going to be the next one. So when I come back here, I will make sure I'm under my test. I'll just click on it and I'll go to the test, and I have M there already. That's why when you have your font already and you have the size of your font already as well, you just work with it. If maybe you can screenshot that and put it in that folder. That way you know what you are using as well. And here I'm just going to put me, mom, and I will delete the rest. That is how I keep the font. I don't delete everything and try to type. I start it and then I can delete the rest. Minimum what? Minimum deposits. That way I'll keep the size and then I'll keep the font that I'm using. So I have those and I'm okay with it, but I have, I'll go back to selection. I have these things, no, I have this here that is a little bit hidden. Control Z to remove, to fix that. And I can, no, Control Z to fix it. No. And when it's doing that, I just need to zoom more. And I wanted to take this. Can we move it? Okay. Then I can just come back. And now I'll just take the first picture here to test it out. So I'm just going to drag it here. You see how big it is? And I don't necessarily want that to be the size of the frame, but I know that I'm going to capture things that are going to be in the frame. So I'm going to bring it in. And then we can get closer to see. And I kind of like it. Now I will zoom out to see if the font is showing up well. It's showing up well, but I think it can be brighter than that. And I'm not sure why I have, let's go back to the font. I'm not sure why I have that white. I'm going to copy my original font and I'm going to add it to that bottom, the contour of it. I'm using them as well, but now you can see that I cannot see it. You see how dark it is? Now I'll go to my free font. Okay, if I can find my color, I think that'll be this one. That's what I highlighted so that I know which one I'm using out of those tabs. And I can just come here and I think I'm just going to use my pale one. And why not? I'm going to use the opposite color of it. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on the test. And I want the fill. Okay, and then we can look to see if we like the color or if it's too, if you cannot see it from far. Does that make sense? I think I'm just going to keep it like that for now. And now we have it. I will click on my image here to see what the size is. And the size is here. I'm going to turn this into pixel, and I'm going to do Control E. That way I can see the size here as well. So I'm paying attention to the width here, and I'm paying attention to, selection. I'm paying attention to this at 300 dpi for what I selected. So I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to screenshot those. That way I have a record of that as well for next time, and I'll just save those. So now I'm going to pay attention to what I have here. 380. I'm going to lock in that so that it can respect it for me, and I can just try to see if I can have 690. Okay, didn't do much there, and I think 690 gave me this. I'm going to screenshot that again, and I can just point at that's come on, that's 690. And I will put it there, and I can just put 690 pixel in case it's too small for me to see it. And why that matters to me is, let's zoom. Now we are going to use that. We are going to select our bundle here. Let's make sure we select just the picture. We have two more there, right? So we are going to select that, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to change the width. The width is what? 1920 by 1080. But it is corresponding to 6,000 by 3,000, 3375. So we want to change that to 690 here, and it's going to change both for us, so to the same size. So now let's zoom back, and let's bring a little bit closer here to have it. So we have two pictures there. So if it was 30, we change all those 30s to be that size that we fit in this frame. Again, I was not trying to fit it exactly the size of the frame. Otherwise, I would have used the size of the frame. What corresponds to 1920 by 1080 is this. And that will be worth saving as well, just in case I wanted to use that next time. I wanted to size up my picture to fit exactly the frame. I know what number I should be using. And we can just save those. But that is pretty much, without talking but taking quite a bit of time, saving those processes that I can reference later, so that I don't have to stumble my way through it next time. So now that we have this figured out, I'm going to click on the frame. But again, my swing trading here is a little bit too dark, so therefore I can turn it white there by just doing the fill white. I think that's great. So, but I just feel like this minimum may not be seen from far, but I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to click on the frame, and I will check here to make sure I have the YouTube thumbnail size that I'm going for at 300 dpi. And I'm going to go back to where I'm going to save that. Is going to be, here. So in case I don't have that there yet, I'm just going to come back here and paste it there. No, don't. I think I should have clicked here. I want to make sure I have DPI, and I'll come back here, and I will turn this into JPEG, and then I'll turn this to the to here. So do you see? I will copy the whole things. That way it will number there for me as well. And then I will paste it there. This is ZPX, and I will save it. And it's going to save what is in the frame. So then this picture, for instance, I can just delete it, and then I'll come back here and I can just replace it with another picture, and we can zoom in to see if we like it. We can move a little bit more, and I think we can bring it down a little bit as well. No, that will be it. And in fact, we have this that I can turn into, I can ungroup it and see if I can get just that. It has that color. I can just turn it to white. No, not that. Control Z, and I'm just going to use Shift and white, and just going to change the contour for that frame. So, and then you can see it in few seconds. We have this really there already. We don't need to size up the picture again or anything. We just need to get best brokerage. And in fact, I can copy it, but then I will come here again. I will just go to my test. I will take the first one out best so that I can keep my font and size. Brokerage, but I need to make sure I'm spelling things right though. And that is just, I don't really like to change my text every time, but if I'm going to do it, then that's that. Otherwise, you have to choose which you want, what is going to be the variable. In this instance, my pictures is changing, my picture is changing, the text is changing. I don't like to have two variables like that. I like to have one. Something is kept and just one is changing. So if I put swing trading tips, for instance, I might just keep tips and just change my pictures. And then for 7 rows, and then I will, like for 1 week worth, and then I will change the color of that tip using my phone color, and then I will put another 7 different pictures of mine again. You know, that's the way I've done in the past. That's one way. But this, to have thumbnails tailored to each videos, the text has to change. So if you prefer to keep your pictures the same, it might go even faster. You have one good picture that you have there, and you just keep changing the text this way. So you have to see if you want both variables to change, if you want 2 variables, or you want 1, and so forth. In this instance, I'm having 2 variables here, the text and the image. So now that's, but you can see how fast we are able to do this one, and we can just save it. If you want to keep, if you want to change the font, you can change the font. Since we thought this one was a little bit on the it does not stand out for us. I think what I'm going to do, let's change it. And okay, and I was more thinking about turning the contour to be that color. So I think I'm going to copy this color, and I will go come back here. It's all about by doing it, and once you find a rhythm that work for you, you just keep it. And that is how you are going to batch create those, do multiple at once, because you know, once you have the system set up, it's good you do it for a while before, you know, you log out of it. So yeah, batch, do your thumbnails. You don't need to do it for the whole year, but you can do it for 1 month or so. I think that's fine. And we can just come, once you find a good color that is working with this type of background, then you can just keep the font the same and just change the text and your picture. That way you don't add another variable to it. Right now we have 3 variables, the font color change as well, because we have not found a good one that is working with our background for those two, and I don't want to use white. So but again, that is how we will come here, and because I copied the font, I don't have this copied again. So I will come back and I will just, while I have it selected, I'll do Control Shift E to come back to where I'm the saving area, and I will just make sure I have my JPEG, I have my right size here, and I'm just going to change this to that, and I'm going to turn it into a JPEG, and I'm going to save. And we can go and see how many we did so far. We did 5 and 6 together, and they are in order. That way, when we are going to publish videos, when we come back to this file, we just know that I renamed this file January, so 2026, and again I made a tempo because when I started, I create that folder January, and I know that I'll have a pin, I will have Spotify and YouTube. So then I say, okay, I'm not going to keep creating those folders. Next time I come back again, we are working on processes here. So I copy that and paste it here so that I have my pin and my Spotify folders ready. That way, next time when I'm going to create February, I'm going to copy and paste and name it February, for instance. So then we come back here, and you can see the design that we have. Even from far, you can see this one show up a little bit more than that one. So this one is brighter. So this is, we cannot really see it, you can see it from far like that, and you can just make your own judgment on it. But we are able to, that is how you can just you can have those design, and you can just do that for a bunch of them. So it takes time. Again, we are now using a pay product here, a pay software like Canva. It might speed up the process there, but I'm just using this free version. I'm just showing you how I'm trying to quickly create my thumbnails, even though I'm spending quite a bit of time doing it. And then I'm thinking about what part of this process I can improve, so that next time I don't spend this much of time to do this step again. And because I might have to do certain step over and over and over, it makes sense to batch create your thumbnails if you can, so that if that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, I'm trying to see if I can do 4 months. And I think this process might work. That way I can just have all my pictures, 30 pictures, 7, whatever that is, line up here, that size up already, that I can just keep bringing it and do it. That way I will have my test that will keep changing once I found a good color for those. But the way I was doing it yesterday, I didn't think it was that productive, but it led to find alternative ways. So the way I did it is I took my thumbnails here, my templates, after making sure I like the font, I duplicated to have two, got those two, duplicated again so that I can have 7 by row, and I have my pictures that I put here and line them up 7, like a week worth, and then I duplicate the thumbnails templates, select those, duplicate it and move it to put it next to the next 7 pictures, and so forth. That way I have about 30, 35, because I have some at the bottom here as well. But very quickly I said to myself, I'm done with that. It didn't take long to duplicate those thumbnails, but it took a while to bring those pictures. Once I brought them, I try to alternate them so that I have different picture for every day of the week or so. And that's how I line it up here, and then duplicate the thumbnails. And as I'm creating a thumbnails, changing the text. When I'm done, I'm deleting the picture. That's why some of them are missing here, and so forth. But then I'm asking, why not just not duplicate the thumbnails template, but just keep those two the way we did it, and just move my pictures as I'm walking through them. and I say, okay, to have my pictures well organized, different for different days, have 1 week will be different outfit for every day, and just keep brainstorming it, led me to think maybe it will be good to have a folder of them and number them, you know, having them already sorted out here, so that when I bring it, they will be in that order, and I can just align them together, size them at once, and from there pass them through the templates. Again, they are below the templates. And if I go to layers, my template is on layer 3, and I have my pictures on layer 5, and the test is on layer 3 or the above layer, but I have my pictures on layer 5 behind the templates, and I put the chart on layer 4. Is between the templates and my picture. So that is how I layered those pieces on my template. But because the templates, when I bring it, I save it and I bring it, the text does not show up on it above layer, but the text is supposed to be on layer 2, but I'm not going to move it there since I'm not doing much with the template. I'm okay keeping it the way the template I put it back here when I save it and put it back, but when I'm designing it, it will be on above layer, above the templates. But putting my picture below the templates, when I select the templates and I save as a JPEG, is going to save the selection for me. If I go back here, if I click there, is the selection, not the page or the document, but the selection. I wanted to make sure it has the size that I'm looking for, and anything within that frame is going to save it. That is how I create my thumbnails, and that is how I'm trying to speed up the process so that I can batch create it. For those tasks you are going to do, you know, if you can batch create it, that's great. That way you won't have to do that on the day that you are recording and publishing the video. So we are trying to see what we can do ahead of time before 2026 to start recording for 2026. We want to record the same day and publish the same day, but we don't want to create thumbnails the same day. So therefore, if we can create thumbnails ahead of time, those are different steps we are taking to have those processes in place to be able to create thumbnails. And as we are creating it, we are seeing what kind of process we need to set in place so that next time we are going to do it again, we have certain steps already lined up. We can rely on not to have to repeat them again, but continue from there. That's why it's good to have your template sized up already for the size you want your final product to be in, and use that to do your things. You don't have to save the frame if you don't want to. Then you might have to size your picture to be within that frame and put everything on top of your picture. But I tend to use it like a frame, a picture frame with frame included is my style, and I just keep it like that. But try different ways that works for you, and once you find your style, you can just keep it and go from there. That way you don't have to keep changing it every time, because keep changing it every time requires time, and we want to be able to publish video on a daily basis, have a process that is kind of standardized for that daily upload. And if you want to keep changing it for other videos you might record and publish in addition to that daily upload, that's fine. But at least we can standardize this thumbnail creation process for our daily video creation. Again, so that's because we are doing it ourselves, we are now sourcing it out, and we are now using a pay product to do it either. That is how we are doing it. And we have our Pinterest one here as well. And what I'm trying to do here is just bring my picture and use the wall, the background of my picture at the back of the Pinterest one. And I'm changing the text here by just duplicate this one and drag it here and delete what is here. That way I won't have to tap twice, and I have the the chart there as well, and I will just save it. And it's not easy because when I'm trying to save it, you're trying to open the folder I saved the previous one. So whether it was Pinterest or YouTube thumbnails, and I had to get out of that folder to go to the other folder, but I'm pretty much lining them up, you know, as I go, so that I can have them ready. So because those are the ones that I'm going to focus on, I'm going to, leave my blog one out. But my blog one is just going to be that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can try to have one for my blog as well. It's just going to be the this one. I can just duplicate it, bring it here, and I'll go way up. I have this, and I can bring it down, and I have this picture. Let me duplicate this. I'll bring it here. Let's see what we can do, and then we can go closer. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to bring it here, and I'm going to duplicate this one. I'll put it on top of it, and I'm going to, let me zoom out. I'm going to take this out of the way, and I'm going to select all of them. Select that and select the frame as well, and I'm going to go to object, clip, and set. Good. I think that's how I'm going to be doing my web version, and I will just save this one, and I can just keep changing the color of the chart on the frame, and I'll just save few of these, and I'll just keep reuse that in my blog, because my blog is just going to be having the video. I will embed the YouTube video there, but I will have a picture there as well. And I think that is pretty much what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be that size, and I will just save it as well. Yeah, when I can find that folder there, I'll create a folder for my website one in addition to the other two, and I can just have this there. So that is the process I'm going to be using to create few for my website as well. But it does not have to be 30 different ones. I can just rotate 14 or so and things like that. So now let's see. We spent quite a bit of time going in detail in here how we can create different thumbnails, and I'm working on it. I'm not done. You can see it takes quite a bit of time, but the process is there, and I will see how many more I can go through today. But we can take a look and see the one that I did previously. We can see for 30 days thumbnails here for that same size of that we are creating right now. You can see 1920 by 1080, but in addition to that, we did it for YouTube as well, which is 1280 by 720. But if we can just create one time, we don't have to, it will save us sometimes on that. And of course, we will do the pin as well. And let's see, we have watch list as well. Oh, sorry. And we have that, for quite a bit of days. And I think for the web, I only did one. Oh, it was for a specific one, and I didn't do the pins for them. And for December, we have those. You can see that I didn't have a lot of variable here my variable is just the picture that is changing. I kept the stock, and then I was changing the color every set, the 7 set or so. I have 2 different colors here that I use also for 32 days of things here, just to show you how you can batch create your thumbnails and have them ready. So when I get out of there, I think I create some for, you know, swing trading but income related type of things. I try to have it generic in a way that I can use it multiple times related. If the content is little bit related to that type of thumbnails, I'm okay with it. So I have income gain type of things, you know, and I create a bunch of them as well here, 26 or so, using gain, income, and different colors and different picture of mine to create that variation. So, and those are the ones that I'm using, you know, now as I'm creating daily thumbnails, daily videos. But that is how you can batch record your thumbnails. And for this content that we are recording, you can see I have them down. And if I wanted to change the, if I wanted to redo it, I can redo it. That is fine. But I have this one lined up already, and I did it all the way to 24, but I don't think we will have, you know, all those videos related to the process, because I work on it today and I shorten it up again. But yeah, we have it here, but you can see it just give you idea if you want to standardize the process and not make it too different. They're all similar. When you try to, you know, create a formula related to it, you know, I just try to minimize the number of variables that I'm working with, so that I can, you know, I can try to not have to change everything, you know, related to it. But that is that. And as we are talking about the YouTube one, I think today I work again with AI on it to group some questions. That's how we are able to group today's question, because it entails quite a bit of things that I didn't really want to create separate videos for. See if I can group it so that we can get over this already, and I'll group others, the remaining one as well. And I have the thumbnails. Pretty much I copy the questions to AI and ask AI what will be the one question people will ask that we can address related to all those subtopics selected, you know. And that's how, you know, I summarize all of them under this topic that we are recording. And I just ask 1-2 word thumbnails. So if I want to recreate thumbnails for those, I have those word here that I can use as well to recreate thumbnails for it, for the remaining videos that we are going to do, record and publish in this series, since we have thumbnail things open here that we are working on. And that is how I was able to group that one and 1, 2, 3, pretty much 4 contents within this video. It's a long one, but I think we can just touch base with all those different components of a thumbnail within one video for you to grab the whole picture, even if it's going to be a long video. And probably you are now using Inkscape, so sorry if the video is a little bit too long, but I just like to show step by step how to do certain things if there is an opportunity for it. But if you are now using Inkscape, maybe it may not be relevant to you, but I think maybe you might find few steps that you can apply if you are using Canva that you can use there. But this is a free software that I use, and that is how I'm using it to speed up my process and set some processes, some steps that I can use to quickly and consistently build a system to design my thumbnails for, YouTube, Spotify, Pinterest, and my website content. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all your comments, and thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and ninasoap.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way. Swing trading, sorry. Having your own YouTube channel is one way to create a stream of income out of it over time. Thank you so much for your time. And this video is brought to you by our online store, Liberman.com, where we have a bag listed. If you are interested, will you please check it out? Thank you so much for your time.